Sweet. Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the Money Store. My name is AJ. I'm here with my good friend Julian over in Cali. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good, bro. Good. Just right here. Uh, excited. Good news happen. Good things happening, and
Yeah, man.
and I mean that with all respect to anyone who is out or still in the church in La Luz del Mundo. Um, I don't want to come out like, yeah, the motion got denied. Obviously, that's the biggest news right now. But that's why we're making these videos to kind of just share with people basically why it got denied, things like that. I mean, not in detail because we're not in the court, but there's a lot of stuff that the members don't know, or that these no no the elites, the pastors, when they give out these letters, right? They don't say in detail why it got denied. They just, you know what I mean? So that's why
Yeah,
we're here.
yeah, definitely, man. The last time we spoke was I think when mid mid-April for sure, before the last piece of big news, and the last piece of big news was on May 2nd, which is when Naason had his little meeting. He had two different meetings in court, and yeah, and basically what happened, and first of all, like you said, with all due respect to just everyone involved, just this is good news in our eyes, and this is like terrible news for them, but we're here to we're here because we've understood the information, we've digested it in whatever way we have, and we're just trying to show people that these conversations are important, and if anything, we hope that this can be like something to guide all the other conversations that happen around different dining room tables, with family members, with spouses, etc. Because this whole thing's important. This whole thing's important, um, and it's a big roller coaster for everyone involved, and everyone, the different sides see it in different ways, but in our eyes, it's a good thing that the motion got denied, and we're that much closer to a trial starting in a little over 3 weeks from today. What else was I going to say? I was speaking to someone earlier, and so people are going to see that I'm wearing the same shirt, but I would say that this whole arrest and this whole march towards a trial, and the involvement of lawyers and the involvement of prosecutors and witnesses and all this other stuff, like this is all a venture, a project to look for truth. The executive branch of the government, these prosecutors are claiming that this man did certain things, and so then the burden is upon them to prove that it's correct, and they've gone through the process, and they're trying to have a trial happen in front of another branch of the government, in front of a judge, and in front of a jury, in a courtroom. They're trying to these are the gears of our country, of our institutions running, in order to just figure out, hey, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? These people over here are claiming that there's this and this and this. You're saying no. Well, let's get to that process of just, hey, what happened? Um, and and yeah, like you said, we're not there, and we're over here in different parts of the country, and we feel the effects of what's going on in those courtrooms.
Right.
Yeah, do you have anything to say before you dive into other stuff?
I just know, like, people that hear, like, when we say, oh, we're not there, like, yeah, but it's not, it doesn't mean that you can't find out what's going on. Like, there's just so many outlets to just, I mean, we're in the 21st century. Like, you can easily just log in and find out why it got denied, or just information. The bottom, like you said, there's only, everybody here is fighting for, like, the truth of what happened, right? Or finding out what happened. Obviously there's Naason's truth, and then there's the opponent side, or the victim's truth, the Jane Doe's or whatever. And um if we analyze just that, like, one thing that it's like a huge red flag is just knowing how the church, right, La Luz del Mundo, you know before all this happened, they were so into, like, the government. We need to be good citizens, and we are good citizens, and we respect the authorities and all these like all of these things, right? There's even streets. I remember I forgot what state, but there's a street of Naason Joaquin. They named it literally after Naason Joaquin.
In the
And
U.S., I think I heard about this.
yeah, in the US. And everywhere he went on tour in the US, like they would invite, what I mean, like officials from like this area, like governors or mayors or whatever. Not governors, I'm not sure governors, but some
Yeah,
pretty important people within like, especially like in Anaheim here, there was like people who came, and it's not like that just shows that, like this whole idea of the government is after La Luz del Mundo, or parts of the government are being paid out by victims or whoever. Like come on, guys. Like, you know what? Like, I mean, at first I thought that at the very beginning. I remember people would ask me, like people that I was preaching to, they would ask me like, "Hey, Julian, like, whoa, bro, what happened?" And I didn't want to attack the government because how crazy would that sound, right? So I would just say like, hey, there's evil people out there that are after the church and that are after our leader. But once that idea you can only support that idea or that ideology for so long until like your consciousness and we have a brain, right? It starts to like really work. And if you're mature, which we all are, you can't just blame or come up with this like movie ideas that, there. I heard so many stuff when Naason got locked up. At first, there was no victims, and then later that they are victims, but somehow they're paying the judge, they're paying like all these people, that it's a conspiracy against Naason Joaquin. And it's like, okay, well, just kind of like breaking it down a little bit. That's not who La Luz del Mundo is. Like, for example, let's just take how the recent motion got denied, right? If it would have gotten approved, bro, if the judge would have approved the motion or whatever, and we've seen it in the past how the judge how he think he fined some of the DAs or the people way earlier in the case, and like the church was like, they were like in victory celebrating and all this stuff, bro. And right there, that just shows how that they won't attack the judge there, they won't attack the government there, but when something goes wrong, oh, this messed up, the judge is this, the judge is corrupt, and all these things, bro. Because that's pretty much the bottom line of all the members that don't know the information. They just go off of what they're being told in the temples, and they don't have anything but to for them to just think, what, the judge is corrupt. But if, like I said, if it would have gone in Naason's favor, they would have probably made a big old party for the judge. It's like they don't see that. They don't see that. It's just a lot of them just creating these excuses or making up justifications to why things are going out the way they are for Naason Joaquin. And that's something that the members need to realize. Like, you need to stand your ground, and you need to like really, what I mean? Like I said in one of the last videos, talk to people around you. Like, maybe you don't want to hear the answers from me and AJ because we used to be from the church, and obviously they feel like we're just here to attack. But do what I did, like talk to like ex-coworkers, talk to like gym members, talk to anyone you see randomly in the street, kind of break down what's going on and get their output, bro. And you'll see, like, it's not that we're just against the church. Like, this is just life, and you have to just eventually be strong, I guess, or we all have to go through that. We all have to go through that. It's painful, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, thank you for sharing all that. And we, I understand how people like, might look at me and sort of feel completely see me as like radioactive because we're out of the church, and part of the church's understanding of itself is that those people that are not part of itself anymore, there's no legitimate reason why you would ever want to leave La Luz del Mundo. And so like, why would you even want to go talk to these people? And there's no legitimate reason why you could want to leave, and there's no legitimate reason why you should go and talk to these people, because they have intent, and their intent is, they're evil. They've shied away from God. um, they just want to get you out. They want to harm the most precious thing in your life, and the most precious thing in your life is la luz del mundo and the beliefs. And yeah, you're right. Like you're saying, it's like, we understand that the intent may look like, we may look like just evil people to you, but like, we're really trying. We don't want to be that outright. We want to uplift the community. We want to just make everyone's lives as best as possible. And the way that we've identified is that, like, hey man, it turns out that this organization that you're in, that that people are participating in and sort of making excuses for and not questioning as much as they could be, this thing isn't as nice as it seems, and it carries massive consequences for some people. And we hope that we get to talk about some of this stuff and sort of just clear it up for some people. And it's these whole past 3 years, man. It's been freaking 3 years. These whole past 3 years has been a moment of reckoning for a lot of people, where this man that they have a picture of in their house, in their home. A lot of people are involved, at least by paying attention to this thing, and then a lot of other people are involved in the actual case. But it's all a big moment of reckoning for the community. And it's I wanted that everyone involved just wants the best to turn out for everybody. And the best is, and basically means, hey, we have to find the truth out. And so that's why we think it's important that the motion to dismiss gets denied, that June 6th is now the set date for the thing to start. So far, it still seems pretty firm as of today, the 14th of May. Yeah, man, it's a big moment of reckoning. And it's really unique. La Luz del Mundo is going through a unique one, because there's people that leave the Mormon church and they trickle out in whatever tiny bits that they do, or whatever groups that they do.
Yeah.
But they don't have like this giant trial, like, of a thing, this big moment of reckoning happening for everybody. That was a big swing to the church right now, and it's why a lot of people just aren't showing up anymore, and why there's a lot more people speaking up.
And yeah, you know what I noticed too? Like, I think, like, this is what I thought when this whole thing happened. I felt like it was meant to happen, because since we're the only church of God, we're the true church. I felt like, of course, this is gonna happen, right? It was only obvious that something big was gonna happen, and this is like something that we needed to really like outshine everyone else and just leave a really big footprint as far as like the whole religious community or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of went, because La Luz del Mundo does that a lot. They'll take something that happened and they'll try to flip it and make it into like something huge, something positive or whatever, because we're the only church.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like now I think that was in, because I hear a lot of members like say like, they'll try to like kind of like make it seem like it's part of like their journey as to reach salvation and the tribulations and all this stuff, right? But it's clearly not ending well for them, or it's not aging well, this whole thing. Like, if I remember when he first got locked up, they try to manipulate the church, and I don't know why Naason would say this, but he mentioned that if he ever stepped in a jail cell, that he would preach there. He would, convert a lot of people. And, that's what they were saying when he first got locked up. They were saying that he was converting a lot of people, that
Yeah.
I reading him with the Osculo Santo, and that they were even singing alabanzas in jail already. And they even said that that angels visited him, and some of the guards were like, I don't know. But to fast forward to now, I think in his last letter, he said that he didn't want to be in jail anymore. He literally said that. He said that he wished he wasn't in there anymore. And if we analyze this whole situation, like, at first you're saying that, this is by God's plan, and this was basically meant to happen because it was God's plan. It was in his plan
Mm-hmm.
to throw you in jail, you know. And now he's going against what God told, what God's basically his plans, you know. Um, and now he wants to get out. Now he doesn't want to be in there anymore. Not only that, but that was a huge sign from the beginning. You know, a person who says that it's in God's, that God isn't with him. I mean, God is with him, and that God is gonna help him, and that God is your, you know, your backbone, and just God is with you all the way. But yet you're doing everything to do and go against God's plan. You're hiring the most expensive lawyers. You're trying to get out. You're avoiding in every way the trial. Um, you're just like literally, bro. It's like a slap to the face. And not only that, but dude, this is something huge, right? Naason said so many damn times, bro, that God had already told them and promised them that he's gonna get out, that he's gonna get out. And he even said, I can't wait to get out and share all the testimonies that I have for you guys. You know, that's not gonna happen, bro. So when he mentions, when he says, because this can really be used against him, when Naason dares to say that God promised him this or that, you know, and it doesn't happen, it's a clear sign, dude, that he's lying. He's lying. You know what I mean? Oh, remember when he first came out? That's Naason Joaquin, the great apostle, and boom, you know, he's gonna lead the people. And he went on tour, and all these churches he visited, right? He visited a bunch of people, and in every presentation, he would say, God is showing me a very large, you know, a very large, big church here, a prosperous church. Next time I come to visit you guys, next time I come to visit, it's going to be very prosperous. There's going to be way more members and blah, 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 blah. Right. And he said that he said that on every stop he would make in his tour, bro. That's not going to happen. You're not going to revisit anybody. And the point is, my point is that you said that God showed you all these things, which clearly didn't happen, and it's not gonna happen, bro. If anything, the opposite happened. But yeah. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, be to the members, be aware of these things. You know, it's not hard to just, it's not hard to realize what I'm trying to tell you. You know, it's not hard. It's not like I'm a science, I'm an expert. No, like anyone can tell. That can basically tell that this dude is lying. So people, members are going against their emotions. I wrote this down. I don't know why it popped in my head when you were talking, but analyze what I'm saying to your emotions, to your feelings. You know, like I know the members' feelings are like, you know, they're just probably going all over the place. You know, and one thing that I see with a lot of them is they always try to find something to justify why it's happening. So I guess my biggest question is, what are they going to say to justify when Naason doesn't get out? And all the promises he made aren't true, and they're not going to happen.
People only know him as a in a particular context. They don't know him privately. They don't know him around, you know, a dinner table most often. And it's tragic to think that people are just still so swayed by these letters that he supposedly writes. Which, at this point, I'm a believer that I think there's a lot of evidence, or at least a lot of thought for believing why he's not writing these letters, and it's actually someone in the bishops or one of these people actually doing it, because he had the whole trial or something on, like, he had the whole last court date on May 2nd, and then I think it was like the next day that supposedly they had a letter from him. Did you hear about this?
I think it was the same day. No,
it was the same day.
Even if it was the next day. Yeah, yep, they had a letter.
Yeah, but I'm of the mind that yeah, he's not writing these letters, and either way, the lawyers are gonna know that their client is talking through some direction. We're gonna watch what he's saying, and yeah, and so he's, you know, so he just kind of says a lot of dumb things, but these aren't things that are like damning to him in the courtroom, you know. Here's another thing I'll say when it comes to the letters, you know, while we're on the topic. That first summer when he was arrested and whatnot, he obviously got arrested with two co-defendants, and it was Alondra and Susana. And then of course people were looking for Azalea. But in those first letters when he first got arrested, he was just like, he was not mentioning them. And I always love mentioning this. He was not mentioning them on purpose, bro. Like the lawyers were like, hey man, just, you know, right now we're stepping in. You can't be saying that you even know these people. we, you take care of your church stuff, but we're gonna monitor you take care and say whatever you want to say to your church, but they're obviously gonna watch it, because that can then be flipped on their client, and they obviously want to win for for themselves, and for the client, because their client's paying them. But then do you also remember, yeah, like you were saying, in that summer he's also saying that, like, yeah, there's beautiful testimonies and angels, and I'm shaking hands with everybody, and people like fucking love me here. I've converted some people. um I remember he said that he ran into a guy named Job Castillo Jr. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, an arrestation or something like that.
In that summer, like a month or two after he was arrested, he's like, I ran into a brother here that was arrested, and then he was really surprised to see me locked up inside too. And I think the name of this person was Job Castillo Jr. from somewhere in California. They were arrested for, I don't know what, but they were there for some reason. And it was weird that he mentioned Job Castillo Jr., but he wasn't mentioning the other two women. And then of course, like, like if you sit down and you read these things, you can go way back and see that he's not mentioning the women. You can go back and see that he's just kind of saying all this fluff about being in jail, and this is a test of our faith. And then you can read up to the present day now, and then now it's just strange. It's really strange. I hate that. I hate that it's still a thing. Like that is their correspondence with him. It's the church. It's the whole church. It's all about him. That the doctrine revolves around him. But like, all they really get from him is they don't get Zoom calls or anything like that. They get these letters that are supposedly penned by him. I don't buy it.
So I've said in the past, right? I've been to jail in my past, my younger years. I have family members who've been to jail for years, and I've gone through the whole process to visiting them and getting to, like, talk to them and having a visiting room with them. So I'm familiar with how it works as far as sending a letter and receiving a letter. I think Mopar one time he even did this whole video on just how to even write him a letter. Like, anyone can write us on a letter. It has to go through their protocol, bro, because in jail, just to let members know, this is what sucks about a lot of the members in church, especially like people who just don't know, bro, how it works. They just think that you just write them a letter and just, here, can you give it to Naason? Like, here, guard, can you give it to him? Yeah, I'll give it to him. Like, no, you have to go to their procedures, right? Their protocol. They just in a normal case, and I want to mention this right now. Naason's case is a very high profile case. We're talking about, it's just big, right? I mean, Brian Ross is covering it, right? It's like, it's crazy. It's all over the news. It's huge. So comparing that to just a normal case, whatever, even just you went to jail for stealing a soda at the store, whatever, just basic, and then you write that person a letter. It takes, I think, a week for it to get processed. And not only that, but the guards, they have to open the letter, they have to inspect the letter, make sure that it's not laced with like any kind of drug, just whatever, bro, subliminal messages, codes. They go through all that, bro. They go through all that, and this has been done for years. This is just normal. This is just what happens when you try to get a letter or receive or send a letter. You have to also make like an application, I believe, in certain counties. In California, I don't think you don't have to. Only if you want to go visit him, then you have to, put an application in, and you have to get approved, and it's just a mess, bro. So for them to just say that after his motion got denied and just literally have his letter the next day, like, it's just not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. And you know what? I caught this long ago. And not only this, but a lot of people are trying to catch that too, that this guy is not sending his letters. He's not sending his letters, bro, because in some letters, he'll use his vintage Spanish. Vosotros seréis y los amaréis and bendeciréis. And then in some letters, bro, he's talking normal. What happened to his vintage Spanish? So it's like just weird. Obviously, it's not him. Obviously, there's different people that want to just write it out how they, I don't know who they have writing these letters out.
Yeah, but I wonder.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're regretting a lot of stuff they wrote in the past, things that are not going to happen, like him getting out. They're probably like, Like it's probably like, yeah, we messed up there. We should have just said something else in case he doesn't get out. We should have just literally said something like, you know, something. But let's not be a for sure that God is promising him this dude's gonna get out because we don't know if he's gonna get out. So they're probably regretting a lot of the stuff they said in the previous letters. Pretty cool, you know, because I think that's gonna really help a lot of members. I mean, I hope it does, right? Just
I hope
see,
so.
like, hey, okay, you know, like, you know, put your feelings aside and just stick to just facts. Now, some promises, and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You know, I mean, but I wanted to just kind of get into the
Yeah.
whole motion, this recent motion that got denied,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
hopefully we can kind of like go into just break it into like more angles of it, like seeing, like for example, why is this dude like one angle of it, right? Of course, it got denied, but another just angle to look at it was like, why is he trying to avoid going to trial, dude? Like, why does he keep? No, I don't want to go to trial. I don't like. Why? Like, this is your chance to say Naason's got talent. Judges, hear me out and get the golden buzzer,
Yeah.
bro. This is your shot, and he just doesn't want to do it, bro. Like, you have wisdom, you have this authority, and this is another thing that they say that he has all this authority, but yet he doesn't want to use it. This is your time to shine, bro. Like, this is it. This is it. This is you're facing the whole world, and this is your shot to show, you know, I'm an apostle. Naason Joaquin, you know, he would yell it out. Oh, it gets annoying, bro. Apóstol de Jesús. Si para otros no lo soy, para vosotros ciertamente. Like, whatever, dude. This is your shot then. Show the world. Shock the world. Shock everybody. Prove it. Prove it. Just, you know, like you say, shut me up. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't say this to kind of like in a bad way, like brag or no, like this is literally it. Like if me being a member still, I would have been one of the ones to say, watch what's gonna happen. Watch what's gonna happen on trial. Watch what's gonna happen. Watch how he gets out. Okay, then why does he not want to do that? This thing's been done a long time ago, and this kind of goes back to like a lot of members were just in their feelings hurt because they were blaming the judge that he was the one extending his trial, that he was the one just postponing everything, and you know what I mean? They did that for so long. That's another lie that members never caught. And I think now they're probably wondering why is Naason Joaquin keep you know postponing or trying to just like not go to trial? Why don't you just get it over with? Go in there, you know, prove your innocence, use the words of wisdom, use the Holy Spirit, and dude, just get out. That's it, man. Don't you want to get out? You know?
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, that's one angle of this whole motion after motion after motion after motion.
Well, one thing I want to say right there is that it's quick. It's basically that like, do you think that Naason gets to like hear his voice out loud in the way he used to? Because you know he's in this courtroom and it's like he's quiet. You know he's pipsqueak. He's not speaking loud. He's not in the front of a church and a throne like he's used to, where he can always yell. I wonder if he's gotten to hear his voice like out loud for the past 3 years, and if he does, then like I don't know, man. But you know, this man, you know, in our eyes, this man is I don't want to know. I don't know if like deluded, but he's just he's a religious maniac. You know, there's something going on there. Like it should bother us that the man has these high ideas of himself and that he's convinced other people of to think also, and then now he's capable of doing what he's doing. You know, just blue balling everyone, just stalling the whole thing, and just like it's wild. There's people who probably don't even know that there's several judges involved. There's people who probably don't even know that Naason has hired more lawyers beyond, has switched lawyers, like, you know, to begin with. Yeah. And it all comes back to like information, man. Like information control. Don't let people tell you that you can't be researching this shit. Don't let you can't be convinced that like Univision and this branch of the government and this other branch of the government came together to make some fucking Disney Pixar deep fake of Naason doing stuff. And like, no, man, it's too much. Like, I'll start with that. But yeah, it's too much, man. It's all because people have these ideas of this man, and we want people to feel like, hey, it's not bad to question your ideas of this person. Do it, and you'll learn a lot more.
Yeah, I think if the member, um, I think the reason why they don't do this, and what I'm trying to talk about, what I'm trying to say is, see Naason as like, just look at this guy, right? They see him, they have this vision of him as like this powerful guy who, if you dare to even think bad of him, like something bad will happen to you. Because I literally felt feared this myself.
Mm-hmm.
There was, but I would take a shower, I was in the shower or whatever, just on my own, and then I always have like little thoughts like I remember one time he would like speak in the presentation and he would stutter a lot, and I would think like, why is he stuttering so much? Like, why aren't you just clear, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be like, oh no, Julian, what are you doing? No, no, no. And then if like later on that day I tripped or whatever, so I got a flat tire, I would think, see, Julian, you shouldn't have thought bad about Naason Joaquin. You know what I mean? Like shit like that, bro. That was me. That was literally me. It's kind of sad, but anyways, members are in this mentality of this dude, right? They have this like this, just, you can't think bad of him, right? I get it. But look at him in this court. Like he brags so much his whole life about God is with him. God this. God. And he has all this power and he can lift people from the dead and he can do everything and he can stop hurricanes and whatever, bro. Like, I'm not even saying this to like make fun of him. But these are things that this guy says he can do. For him to be in a courtroom and he has all this power, right? All this like authority, power, whatever. He's a man of God. For him to have another guy back him up, like, hey, you do the talking for me. You know what I mean? You no, I want you. I'm gonna pay you, and I want you to get me out of this mess. Because imagine Alan Jackson telling him, "Bro, but you're an apostle. Like, what can I do? I'm just a man. Like, your high powers and your authority and your wisdom is way over my understanding and my reach. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a better lawyer here, it's you, because you know the answers. Like, God can just tell you everything. You know what I mean? Like that's just a clear sign. I mean, think about it. How crazy would the church go if Naason never got a lawyer? If he, in every motion or in every court hearing that he had, imagine he would be the one talking, and imagine him yelling at the judge. Imagine him saying, "Judge, yo soy Naason Joaquin," in court. Like, come on, dude. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna do that. He could have, but he would look like a clown, bro. He would imagine him talking to the judge in this vintage Spanish. Like, dude, can we just wake up?
Yeah, the transcriber is not gonna enjoy that. Whoever's transcribing the whole thing, writing the script of the thing.
Can we just stop already, bro? Judge, I didn't do this to this girl's judge because I can live from the dead. Why would I want to do that? I can just reappear anywhere in the world. I'm too busy, I don't know. It's just
it's dumb. It's really dumb, and we're 3 weeks away from it. I'm just hoping that as much attention gets on it as we can possibly get on it, that that people really look at themselves in the mirror and try to see if they still see Naason there, if they can see past him. Like, how married are they to these ideas, and they gotta climb out of it.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about his recent motion that got denied,
yeah,
is what La Luz del Mundo, Eliezer Gutierrez. Oh my God, that guy annoys the crap out of me. Anyways, he went up and made a video, like a little, I want to say, like, it wasn't even with the news. It was, he can't even answer the reporters because they're gonna ask him straight up.
Is he outdoors and he's talking? Is this like a video that you're talking about?
Yeah, he gets up and he's talking obviously the people who are interviewing him is not like ABC News or Univision. Of course not. He's guy's not gonna, and he's escaping, but he does these videos because obviously the members, they want an explanation of what the hell happened. So Alessia Gutierrez goes up and makes a little a video, a replica or whatever, to his own people, right? Because it's probably like a kid from Berea doing this like fake interview, and let's see, this is a shot, right? To just say what he's got to say and just lie about the whole thing. And literally, this guy just says that we are shocked. We're shocked that the judge denied the motion. And one thing that I was thinking about, AJ, is I don't get why, the elites, like the church, the not the members, but the higher ups. I don't get why they say that we are shocked that the judge denied the motion after knowing that the DA or the prosecutors were hiding evidence that was gonna clear his name. And I'm like, okay, how do you even know that the evidence will clear his name if no one has even seen it, not even the judge? How do you know that evidence if you haven't seen it, because they're keeping it away apparently? So if they're keeping this evidence away, how do you know that it will clear his name if you haven't even seen it? That didn't make sense to me, as far as like what Eliezer Gutierrez is saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, AJ has my Nike shoes in his trunk, and once he opens that trunk, I'm gonna get my shoes. Like, how would you know that? And specific shoe, and then you open the trunk, and it's literally not that. So I don't know, like the light was just there in front of your face. It's like, how do you know if that's gonna clear his name or get him out of the situation, if you're saying that it's evidence that they're keeping away? If they've been keeping it away or not wanting to present it to the judge, like, how do you even know that it will clear his name? So I think that's just something they made up just to kind of, get the members' hopes up again.
Yeah.
And then see what happened was they showed this, whatever the DA had, and it was even the opposite. It made Naason's case worse.
Right?
It made Naason's case worse. And then the Eliezer Gutierrez says, we are shocked. And it's like, bro, you're not shocked. Like, nobody's shocked. I mean, yeah, the members are shocked because you're lying to them. But basically what I'm trying to say is they're not explaining to the members why it got denied. All they're saying is that they're just keeping this narrative that the evidence, even though the evidence came out to be true and it will clear his name, that the judge still denied. So that's why now we have a lot of members saying that the judge is corrupt. But no, like, they saw the evidence or whatever this thing was, and it made it worse. I believe some of the evidence stated that Naason Joaquin was messaging Alondra Ocampo to where to meet the girls and what hotels to meet at. So if anything, it just made it worse, and that's why it got denied. That's literally why it got denied.
Yeah.
But Eliezer Gutierrez and La Luz del Mundo's higher ups, their spokesmen, they're not saying that. They're saying we are shocked that it got denied, and that's clearly just a huge lie. A slap in the face of the members, and that really irritates me.
Yeah. Did you see how they decorated the provincia prior to
Yeah.
the court date? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was all. It's part of May and his birthday and whatever else. But come on, people like are totally had in mind probably that, hey, this is the setting in which man is gonna return to his glorious little hometown.
Yeah, it's sad, bro. And just how much money they spent, how much ofrendas they make the members, be a part to make all these decorations, because that's what they do. When something needs to get done, you would think that the church does it, like the higher ups, but it's clearly the members putting up all this money to decorate, like in everywhere. Like in my church, we would do the same thing. Like, and it's just a bunch of money thrown in the trash, bro. Every year we paint the building. Every year, just decorate the building, and it's all coming out of the members' pockets. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, but
yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that it's So the ministry and the letters, the higher ups, they will say that, we are shocked of this sucks, or it's a lot of complaining about it, and I get it. I'm sure there's probably a lot. I'm sure that there's a lot to complain about when it comes to going through, the criminal justice system and having to go through uh, a trial and whatever else. But at the same time, like these people, just say so much and pointing in a lot of directions, but it's only in like it's only in these letters where they just kind of say a bunch of things, and it could be the case. We could live in the world where Eva, Joaquin, and Alma, and Gutierrez and Silem is probably still a spokesman. He's not a spokesman anymore. I don't think he's part of the ministry anymore. But I know that he's less in the eye. He's less in the public eye. But it could be the case that all these people are out there constantly everywhere, talking to every newspaper, talking to everything, saying no, he's in the wrong. No this, no this, no, we're applying to. We're talking to the Supreme Court. That's not happening. These are all really secluded people that yeah that they go to this thing that they know what's going on, and to tailor a message together to put out to the public. It's terrible. It's terrible to think about this, and this sucks. Like this is just like one institution in people's lives that is not that big. This isn't like this isn't the Mormon church, like that's much bigger. And then somehow, still within this group, the lies can continue to promulgate. Um, yeah. And it's dumb. Like so much is asked of them. So much is asked of the members. Like, the members have to believe that all these parts of the government are corrupt, that they can't give into the temptation of reading stuff for themselves, that they can't. They have to be careful who talks to them about what. Univision is corrupt. Social Martin is this. These people are this. Maybe the Catholic Church is involved. I don't know. Like that's just a lot. That doesn't. It's not helpful at all.
Yeah, I think
It's just a lot of noise.
I think right now, I mean, who knows what's going on within the higher ups, like, because I think they know that Naason is not getting out. I mean, clearly, we all know. I think as far as members who are still have what they call faith, and I respect that, I guess. They expect something huge to happen, like when someone died. But this is a little different because when someone died, they easily like it was. I guess it was under their control. They had like the upper hand to kind of control the situation and just picking us phone out of the blue and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And they had time. But as far as like this is like, I want to say another big event, right? What I mean by big event is like, one of the big events was when someone died, what's going to happen next. So now this is like another big event, right? Someone's in jail, and it's much worse, right? So much stuff involved, like, there's Alondra Ocampo, there's victims. It's just like way worse. But it's another big event for the members. So I think as this big event, I feel like when Trump comes, I feel like this is going to be another thing where they expect something like, like an answer or something. Obviously, they want him to get out, but I'm curious to know when he doesn't get out, like, what is the church going to do as far as like trying to, like, you know what I mean? Like, continue the whole circus going. Because Nason's still going to be in there. It's not like they can just say, oh, well, Nason's in jail now, so now we're going to pick another one. Because they have this idea that, as long as he's alive, he can be this apostle or whatever.
Yeah, and his authority is not contained by those walls.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But imagine what would happen, like, if, and I tell this to a lot of people who are out already. Imagine if Naason starts to like speak and give out information, and let's just say he starts to like work with authorities and give out names, like people who helped them, everybody who because once he's condemned, he's screwed, bro. He knows it. So you're in there, bro. Like, what are you gonna do? So maybe if they try to offer him like a less time, or try to offer him like, hey, if you cooperate, give us names who helped this, who helped to do that, I think that would be huge, you know, seeing a lot of pastors go down with him. I think that would be huge. And I don't know how, if that was to happen, if that was the case, I don't know what, you know, who would even,
Who would feel like they're not within
what could
the
they,
explosion, you know?
yeah, what could they possibly say? Um, one thing I do want to mention is to the members who are watching this is, um, you know, I understand what they're going through. I know sometimes I do, you know, get a little bit out of hand and I laugh, or you know, I'm a little rough, I guess, but I just, you know, I want them to really understand that they need to get informed. You know, when this thing happens and he goes to trial, I think a lot of information is going to come out, and maybe, you know, maybe they will, maybe they'll just like, you know, realize that they were lied to. Um, but you know, a lot of members like to tell me like, you know, what you just want to get me out of church, right? Like you were saying, you just want us to get us, you just want us to get out of church. You just want us to get out of church. And like that's not the case. You know, I'm not telling members to stop having feelings for like the members, the people you grew up with. Obviously, that's not just gonna go away, and we don't want that to go away. You know, that has nothing to do with what's going on. Somehow, some way, the members have the higher ups. I'm sorry, they've made the members believe that, you know, they're trying to take down the whole church, the members and everybody in it. Like, you know, one thing is this Naason guy who committed these crimes. And another thing is your part in the La Luz del Mundo, and you know, you were trying to just live this life and serve God in your beliefs, and these people took advantage of you, you know, and obviously you made relationships within the community. There's a lot of people that helped you. There's a lot of good people in La Luz del Mundo, you know, and you know, I think that's one thing that a lot of members think, that like for us making these videos, it's like we want them to leave church and stop talking to people, and now it's us against them. Like that's not the case, you know what I mean? Like I still talk to some members. They still, you know, I have feelings for them, like I care for them. It sucks that they're still in this like bubble, you know, but that's, I think that's one big thing that a lot of members, and it's all the elite's fault, right? They feel like, you know, the big objective of this whole Naason getting arrested is to destroy the church and destroy the members and burn down their temples. And like that's really not it. You know, as far as what's gonna happen with temples and people that stop attending little by little, I don't know. I don't have the answers. But just because we don't have the answers as far as like the future, that doesn't mean that Naason didn't commit these crimes and he's not gonna pay for what he did. And you know, like you can still keep in contact with members, but this just kind of shows why this is a cult in a way, because when you get out and members realize that you're stop attending, you're not going as much, this is where you can see that this is a cult, because members who still want to be your friend and talk to you even though you got out, they feel a certain way now that you left. They feel like they're in the wrong if they talk to you. They feel kind of like I want to say awkward that they see you in the store. Like I ran into people in the store and stuff like that, and it's awkward, you know what I mean? And even though we don't hate each other or nothing, but it's really awkward, bro, because I've left, I'm gone, and they're still in, and has nothing to do with, you know, us as far as just two people. Hey, what's up? But you know, at the back of their end, they're thinking like he left, he's against me, he hates the apostle, or he hates my church, and he's trying to destroy us. And that's not it, dude. That's not it. I just, you know, me and you, we leave, and a lot of members who are gonna leave, we leave because we realize that this is not what it was. You know, this is not what it was, and that's simply it. It's not because we're just, you know, the devil. This, it's not how the La Luz del Mundo leaders painted out, that we got possessed by the demons and now we want to get out and we're just here literally to attack the church. Even though it seems like that because we're making these videos,
Yeah.
and we laugh, you know, but it's just because I think me and AJ have just been out for quite a while, and we understand 100% what's happening. Maybe not 100% as far as like the whole legal, you know, but as far as like what's gonna happen, I think we're all aware.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, I just want to let members know, like, we're not here to, attack you. We're just here to help. And, it sucks that it's like this, but I just want members to uh, be strong, I guess. Just because we don't have answers, just because I don't have the answers yet, it doesn't mean that you can't leave or step back and just pause it for a bit and just, what, let me check it out. Let me see what AJ is really talking about. Let me go and dive into like what happened in 2019. What that is true and why did this happen? Okay, and then they start getting really involved, and it's not the end of the world. You just kind of like you're gonna have to rearrange or redesign your whole environment, as far as like, and that's the tough part, right? Readjusting to like members and talking to people, and now you go through the little awkward stage and all these things, but that's what we're here for. I mean, if anybody wants to DM me, a lot of people DM me, and they DM me too, AJ, and a lot of people reach out, and they're waking up. Clearly they're waking up, and they're going through all these things, bro. They're going through a lot of stuff that I went through, and it sucks. But I guess that's why we're making this video, is to really just put a positive vibe out there, and and not to be this picture that they're putting out, that we're just here to attack them, and we're here to just take your soul, and here be a rebel with us, and let's destroy Naason Joaquin. Like, that's just not it. I think he destroyed himself. From the get-go, he was just lying, and he's just, that's what happens to people that lie, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. The black and white thinking is like really is one of the big challenges here, where they think we're the devil, and like you said, if they see you at the grocery store, they look at you and they'll think, they're supposed to think that is Julian is a person that's guaranteed to go to hell, and he's here picking up fucking milk and trash bags, like, but he knows, he and I both know that he's going to hell. What else was I gonna say? It's damn, I don't know what I was gonna say. It's tragic, it's tragic. I don't like knowing that this man has this sway over people, and that it has that much influence over a lot of people, and that people can feel like they can't speak up about it, and they have to be different versions of themselves throughout their life. I feel bad about them, but I hope that this sort of material helps, put the positive vibe out there, and let people know that this stuff is real, and that if they have questions, that they're not crazy, and they can reach out to us, and it's all confidential, and they can, if they want to. And I should say this more often, but I'm pretty sure it's implied. When we talk about, like, when this document came out in X date, when we talk about this interview or that interview, or this footage of whatever, I'm not clipping it in. I'm not putting it in at every second to make it like a whole documentary to explain it. But if people want that, they can just ask for it, and we can show them the stuff. But yeah, it's a different matter when it comes to, okay, well, now what are you gonna think about it? If we showed you the video of Naason and Susana and Eva and these other people, this clique of people in Russia in 2018, it's one thing to put in front of your face. It's another thing for you to for one to digest it and try to make sense of it. So yeah, and then and this isn't an attack on people's faith. Well, like, I mean, it kind of, it's more so, it's an invitation to just think a little more critically about this body of ideas that people have so like deep into their lives. But there is the sort of intent of like, hey, we really want you to reconsider what you believe. But we try to do it like as nice as possible, like trying to just discuss certain things and point in certain directions and word of criticism, and then see if someone in the comments, just can Eliezer or like Nicolas Menchaca or these other people, so someone has to have free time a little bit. Just hop in the comments and like just tell us something. Tell us like X is completely, this one part of your video is completely wrong. It doesn't matter, there's a lot that's wrong, but I'm just crossing my fingers and waiting for this trial to begin. I think a lot is going to change, and I just want more truth out there. I just want more information out there, because it helps everybody.
I have a good feeling that things are gonna a lot of things are gonna happen. A lot of good things are gonna happen when someone gets convicted. Even though that sounds kind of like weird, he gets convicted, and a lot of good things are gonna happen. I feel like it sounds weird because the members who are obviously they get their feelings hurt for me saying that. But one thing I wanted to point out, is if this truly was a lie, like you don't think, like think about it. I always think like if this really was like a lie, I mean, I think the church would have sued a long time ago. Like they would have done something legal, some legal action. If this truly was a conspiracy, like where's your proof of the conspiracy? Like where's the proof, and why haven't you done anything about it? Menchaca and all these dudes, bro, who want to just put on Twitter, we're shocked. Like where you at, bro? Like they would have been out doing press conferences. That they would have went out and like this would be huge. But since that's not the case, is that the best they can do? Just nothing. What I can't even say what's the best they can do. They haven't even done anything. I can't even compare anything to nothing because these guys don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, it'll be good for them to get the transcripts and put them in a dominical and tell the members, hey, like they say they were going to do. They're pull up the transcript and just say, this is what happened this day. This is why it got denied. This is why the judge denied the motion, and this is why we are shocked. It wouldn't add up. They wouldn't be shocked. They would be shocked of the members would be shocked, not the the members would be shocked that the fact that they would understand why it got denied or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it just blows my mind, bro, that the lies after lies since 2009, since this guy got arrested, bro, they've just been lying. So I think that's going to be huge to a lot of members. They're going to be lost and understand, like, whoa, so like if for those who really take the time to go back and reanalyze the whole situation, the whole case, the whole transcripts, they're going to be like blown away by the amount of lies that they were told throughout this whole 3 years, almost 3 years, whatever. You know what I mean? So, man,
I hope that they're bottling up a lot, and that when they do decide to leave, that they can channel that against the church, and and pay the church back for how much those lies hurt, for how much money they took, for how much free labor they took, all that stuff. That's why I feel why I do it, because I wish that when I was feeling like I wanted to leave and I had some suspicions and all that stuff, like I wish I had someone like me out there, trying to talk to me and put information out, and try to get on like the public space of YouTube to try to just put ideas out there. But then, what was I gonna say? But then also, like, right now with these other people, we just wanna try to help you get out. We just want you to like question this thing a little bit, because go question this thing a little bit, and when you're ready to jump ship and move to the other side, heal yourself and go through your counseling and all that stuff, all that self-reflection. We want you to do that, but ideally you can be a grain of sand that goes from one side of the scale to the other, and that you can help us try to extract even more truth from the group out. Try to pressure even more members out. Not pressure more members out, but convince them out, because once you're out, everyone clearly knows that this whole thing is a gigantic lie, and it's only helpful that this organization confronts the truth and withers away in the face of it. Do people ever ask you if hey, so if you're telling me to leave La Luz del Mundo, then what do I do? Like, where do I go now? Have you ever gotten this?
Yes, I have. And see, that's because I've gotten it a lot, and that's because of the whole. This is where you can tell, or this is how you know that it's a cult. Like, instead of the member saying this, so you want me to leave church, and where am I gonna go now? Instead of saying, okay, if I'm gonna leave church because it's not the correct church, or this or whatever, this is, if I'm gonna leave this group, because this is obviously not a healthy group. There's lies, there's a lot of stuff that they're not telling us, there's dishonesty, whatever, there's crimes involved. So yeah, you should leave because of that, or stop attending, or not stop attending, but just know what's happening. If you choose to still go, then that's different. But just to know what's going on, and for them to say, well, where else do I go? Instead of saying, well, all right, then let me find out what I can do. But they shut down, bro. They just say, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? Where see, that's what cults do. They make you feel powerless to what's gonna happen after, if this whole idea of your little community is just not real and it's not true,
Mm-hmm.
you know, of obviously, the superhero Naason Joaquin, right? None of that was true.
Yeah.
Then that they feel like, where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? They feel hopeless, because the cults do that. And that's how you know it's a cult, because you feel like, where am I gonna go? The fact that they can't think and they can't like just, well, we'll do some research, bro. Find out where they lied and why did they lie, and then I think it just boils down to like, they just don't want to deal with the pain that this is just not real. You know what I mean? Because La Luz del Mundo members are so emotional, bro. Everything is an emotion at Luz del Mundo. I remember if you go to like when I would go to any prayer, and the member who was taking the prayer, if he didn't yell and scream and cried or whatever, when we would be leaving, a lot of the members would talk smack and say, "Oh, that was boring. He's boring," because they're so used to this emotional, like, like they need that little emotional hype. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
And
yeah, I've heard that too. I know what you mean.
yeah, when a member doesn't scream and yell, whatever, it just feels like it was boring. Time goes by so slow. So members are emotional, and they need that like drug, in a way, that emotional drug. So if they go to like another church or another group or whatever, and just like a study in the park, and they're studying the Bible or whatever, if they're into that, they're not gonna like it, bro. And to them, that's not the truth. It's not the truth because what? Because they weren't screaming or crying or whatever. Like they're so used to like a concert. It's basically a concert, like Luz del Mundo. Naason walks up and he's just yelling and screaming half of the time, and it's all it is. To them, like, they need to really analyze, what truth? What's your truth? Or is it just all your emotions wrapped up in this like place? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they tell me this. They say, where am I gonna go, right? Which was what you were saying. Where am I gonna go if this is if like, where do you want me to go? But another thing they always say is, but to me, they say this, to me, this is my truth. I feel like it's my truth. I feel like it's true because I'm happy here. And that's what they say. And that's just like so misleading and just wrong. So just because you're happy there, well, fine, just don't look back 10 years later, and now you want to be realistic person. Now you want to grow up and be mature. Now you're ready to face the truth. It took you like 10 years, or 20 or whatever. It sucks, to waste a lot of your time, And I'm so happy that a lot of members that are very young, they DM me, bro, and they know the truth already, bro. It's like, they're not scared to dig down and just face life and reality. And who knows? Yeah, this isn't the true church like they told us. And don't be scared just because you don't know what's going to happen out there. Who cares? Don't be scared. This is what life's about, This is how it is. I think that's just emotion. They're scared. That's why they don't want to go. And they don't want to find out the truth or whatever. They don't want to know anything else. They're just emotionally addicted to what La Luz del Mundo has to offer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they're dependent on it, and it's core to the identity, and people don't want to lose that identity and have to change their, get rid of maybe like all their charlinas, and then have to get used to maybe wearing, change their wardrobe too, get used to wearing like pants because now they can. It's a lot, a lot gets changes up right there. I was gonna say that, it's well, fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's so when I hear that question of like, if not this, then where do you want me to go? What do you expect? I always sort of thought of that question as like this weird, like, I'm supposed to, this weird sort of attempt to shut me down because am I supposed to have like all the answers? No, like absolutely not. The answer that I have is just that, hey man, this one particular place is a bunch of crap. Is a bunch of crap, and you know where you go from there. That's a completely separate matter, right?
Yeah.
But that's a completely separate matter. But like no matter what, just when right here, this one thing is wrong, is very clearly wrong, and it's central to your life. But you know, this is an opportunity to find something better because now that because we're here to tell you we're here to tell you that it's wrong and it could be better. It couldn't be it could be not like this. um Another thing about like the leaving the church and whatnot is people, me and a lot of other people, maybe began to question religious faith in general and their belief in God and Jesus in general. And that's that happens. But also like it should, to the members that are inside, it should be telling. It should be really telling that there's freaking atheists and Christians and people that are still believers and God and whatever else, and that are leaving the church and still collaborating to help to get y'all out, to help get the other people out, because like we may have these great fundamental disagreements about all these sorts of things, but like, hey, at least we know that La Luz del Mundo is completely wrong, and we have not a good time, but like but we collaborate, we collaborate like effectively um
Yeah.
to help get people out.
Yeah, I think a lot of them would. I, it's like, and this goes back to like this Naason's case. Like they want proof, right? That's like, you want me to show you like a porn video or something? Like, bro, like as far as like church, they would want like something crazy to happen. Oh, the sky opens up and God says Naason's not. He's fake. Something big, like that's what literally what they want. Like you cannot. It's just it's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of emotional stuff. Maybe like if one of the higher up pastors, Naason's right hand man, his people, maybe if they were the ones to say, hey, and like just imagine if Naason's one of his brothers just says, you know what, guys, we we've been lying. I'm sorry. I'm just tired of this life. I'm tired of the lies, and I want to live a normal life. Just imagine, bro, if Benjamin or Luciel or anyone, I mean, who will they believe? Because these are people that are close to Naason. You know what I mean? They're his family. Just imagine, bro, that it takes something like that of unfortunately it does. They can't seem to just believe in themselves and believe in what they can themselves analyze, think, and they, they depend on these people. They depend on them so much. So if it ain't from them, they won't believe it. And it's sad, but
Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to. The truth seeking is coming. It's happening. The the media attention has shifted on Naason, on the whole church. The YouTube stuff that's out there is much more. There's a lot more anti LLDM stuff. Um, the politicians who distanced themselves from him when the Bellas Artes thing happened. I think tomorrow might be like the 3-year anniversary of it. I think it was the 15th of May, but there's just been a lot of press going on, and it's not gonna be pretty for Naason. Like, say he does get out and he goes back to Mexico, it's not gonna be pretty. They're not, the media is gonna be much crappier to y'all, for good reason. The politicians are gonna be so nice. They're gonna be more suspicious of y'all. They're gonna expect, maybe I would like to think that people like within the community, within Mexico, within the media are gonna expect Naason to speak for his fucking self and not have like lawyers and spokesmen and whatever else. And like we're gonna want that, but it's not gonna be pretty, And the church can be, even if it does get out or something, a lot of people have left and they're not going back, and they're probably the fight's gonna continue for sure, and the fight would continue for sure. But then also, the church is gonna be stricter. Like, it has to be stricter on y'all. And if it's not stricter and it's nicer to y'all, like letting women wear pants more often outside and not inside of church and shit, then hey man, you guys are probably gonna get more red flags. This whole thing is changing, and we don't know what its final form is or what its next forms are, but the whole thing is changing, and just there's red flags everywhere, and that's what we want people to recognize and to get out as soon as possible. Like, they should have gotten out like 2019, yesterday, but it's not then. Now it's freaking 2022, and we just gotta we just gotta keep doing what we're doing. It's been over like 1,000 days, dude. Just imagine that. Just like ever since 2019, I was, part of me thought that this whole thing would be over relatively quickly. It sucked waiting a month and then 2 weeks and 3 weeks. But damn, like, it got to the point where we were waiting like a whole 9 month chunk, and then now another month. And um the strategy hasn't changed. It's all just a matter of like, hey man, we just want y'all to educate yourselves and see that there's some here to really examine.
Yes, sir. Well, I just want to leave off with, big things are happening.
Yeah, for sure.
After what happens, maybe we can make another video, hopefully, and just kind of, because man, something huge is coming, bro. A lot of stuff is coming. Like, it's just gonna be crazy, and we'll see what happens, dude. I'm excited, and I'm kind of like, just I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, like, what's gonna come out in the trial, and how people are gonna react to it? Like, it's just thinking, how am I gonna react to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that so it's not gonna be done live, but there's gonna be media in there, and they're gonna be taking out clips and showing stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
I hope all that stuff is helpful. I hope there's a lot of material out there that gets the people. I hope the media attention is huge. I hope that the way the church tries to succumb the members to attending church more, I hope that gets under the church members and pisses them off and like tires them out. I hope they get a lot of straw on their back.
You know what just came to my mind right now?
Yeah.
If started like a trend, like, I don't know, we got together, like me, you, Mopar, or whoever, right? And we just got this big trend out right now. And even if it reached the news outlets, right? And the thing was this, the message was this: let the church know what's going on in court, but in a shorter term, like, let the members read transcripts, or let the members know the truth behind the court, or something like that. That way the members could be like, well, what is this about? What do you mean? And they would be like, well, it is true, we don't know exactly what's going on in the court. We're just getting what they're telling us, and then this ridiculous letters. You know what I mean? Something like that, something like a trend going, something huge to like really, because when this whole trial happens, bro, it's gonna be the same thing. They're gonna filter it down. They're gonna just give out like stupid little letters, and it would be cool to just, like, something big in the news comes out in Univision or whatever, Telemundo, and it's like it goes along the lines like, one thing we wanted to report is, like, the members have no idea what's going on with the court. All they get is like a letter from the church, but it's strange that they're not informing the members with actual court documents what's happening with this one's case. That would be way better, like, that would hit a lot of members. They could be like, that's true. Why don't they just give us the court documents? Why are they just giving us a stupid little like letter? They now this whole, bro, it's a huge profile case, and only give us like 2 little paragraphs. Oh, this is what happened, bro. What happened? It's like, what?
It's a $90 million bail, dude. And yeah, you're right. They give out a little paragraph. So
it's like, bro, no. The motion was like, how many pages? Like 300, almost 300 pages. Alan Jackson's, and all they got was just like a little paragraph. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I
that's good, man. Yeah, man. So if those were your closing thoughts, do I have any closing thoughts? I don't know, man. Just I'm trying to, I'm leaving town, and I'm gonna hang out with some people, and I'm just trying to keep my mind off of this thing like as much as I can. It's really hard, but the days are ticking. The days are ticking by. It was May 6th, like a while back, and now it's freaking May 14th now.
Positive, bro. When you out with your friends, just feel good that it's gonna come to an end, because I think it is, bro. This is gonna end, and
it has to, for sure.
Just convert it into, like, when you're out with your friends, don't try to avoid it. Just be happy about it. Tell your friends about it. I'm happy, man. It's finally, it's finally coming, and just, you know what I mean? Use the energy to feel you, in other words, because I feel like if we try to, like, because I've done it myself, bro, where I don't want to think about it, I'm at work, and blah, 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 and it kind of just like drains me, like, mentally, to where, like, if I just use it to like hype me up and just get excited, and kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, or like use that to motivate me, like even the gym, or like I kind of just think about it as like everything's falling into place, and everything's good. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I don't know, but yeah.
Definitely, man. So I guess we'll say bye to we'll basically say bye to everyone. So, thank you everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let YouTube know that this stuff is important. And as more, La Luz del Mundo stuff goes onto YouTube, this is gonna be part of it. And we hope that, it gets in front of the eyes of the people that need to see it. So
Uh, just thank you for your guys' views. Thank you for your comments, good or bad. We're here to just this is what it's all about.
yeah,
I think
sure, man.
the questions people have, even if it's against what we're just saying, like that's even better. We can talk about it and get to the bottom of it. It's no problem.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's cool, man. This is great. Thank you for doing this. Let me stop recording now.